Hello friends, this is Jim O'Rear. So many moons ago, I co-wrote and co-produced and co-directed a movie called The Hospital. And we basically made this extreme movie, The Hospital, to make people angry. Basically, it was just to stir up some controversy, which it did. Lots of controversy. People either love this movie or they hate it. Um, they edited probably almost an hour out of it in the UK even, and the edited version got banned in the UK. So, and you can find that movie here on my channel if you want to watch it. It is made like an old snuff film, an old cheap dark snuff film, and if you kind of want to get an idea as to what went on behind the scenes and the making of the movie and stuff like that, we actually made a production diary as we were filming it, and I am going to let you take a look at that here.
I got involved with the hospital all because of Jim O'Rear. He dragged me to the hospital. He put me in the hospital. That's how it happened. I met him, well, I met him at different conventions, but at Canuga, I think it was like the first or second year, we got to know each other there, and we've stayed friends on Facebook and whatever. And I've been acting for a while, playing Chainsaw Sally and various other things. And so when they did this, he asked if I'd like to be in it, and I said sure.
I found out about the hospital through the guy who stays at the Morrison Lodge in E-Town in Kentucky. I previously did a TV show pilot there for an investigation series called Haunted Hotties, and he was there, and then he added me on Facebook, and not too long ago, or before this happened, he was like, my friend, I think it was Daniel, is cast in the movie, and I told him about you, and he wants you to submit yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, awesome, dude. So that's how and then I emailed my headshot resume and like my demo reels, well, not my demo reels, but my, just things that I've acted in and stuff, like, and things on YouTube to him. He was like, okay, awesome, and he sent me sides to audition for the hospital, and he said he loved my monologue that I did, and it really like boosted me up there, and so I got the role of Elaine.
Through Daniel Emery Taylor, he let me know. Originally there was a part in it for me, and then I got bumped for another actor, the role I was going to play, so they gave me this other role, and then they gave me an extra scene. And so originally thought maybe I wouldn't do it, and then I decided, you know, I really want to be part of something like this because this is historical. There's a lot of, you know, great actors in it, horror icons, you know, like Jim O'Rear, and I wanted to be part of that. So I came all the way from California to do it.
I do acting. I've done acting kind of in like the Florida area and North Carolina area. And my mom was scouting a couple of different casting websites, and it popped up. So she said, well, you know, why don't you? She's my manager, so she's like, well, why don't you submit for it? And so I did. I'm here.
Did I find out about the hospital? I actually got. I'm so bad at this. How did I find out about the hospital? I actually saw an ad for it on Facebook, and then I got an email asking if I would submit an audition, and I did, and they wanted me to play one of the parts. I mean, it's honestly like that simple. Like, saw an ad, got asked to audition, sent in an audition tape, and there we go.
I got involved in the hospital with, I met Jim O'Rear. I knew who he was, I was a fan of his work, and I met him in April. And we really hit it off. We have a deep mutual respect for the horror genre, especially the independent and low budget genre. And we just hit it off. He said that he would be in touch with me shortly after he and Daniel Taylor and Tommy Golden decided to get me on board. They incorporated me into the script with a great bunch of scenes. Very honored to be working with these guys. It's a great crew, great cast. and they're great guys. So I hope I can continue to work with the three of them and work on more projects, because their uncompromising vision is what I'm behind. They're just doing their thing and they're trying to push their envelope, and I'm all for that myself. So it's very cool to be here. It's a great set, having a lot of fun, and it's good stuff.
Oh, I've met Jim Maria in Nashville a couple of months ago, and I've heard about his work, and I think I've seen one or two of his movies, and I was just curious to work with him or to do anything, to be part of this whole thing.
Got involved with this project through Jim O'Rear. He brought me on as associate producer and also as a set photographer, and also as the character Mike, who gets his head stomped by the sick, twisted freak Stanley.
So I guess my multiple duties is one, just trying to pull off a character in this crazy story, but also I guess my main job would be making sure the movie gets finished and on budget. So that's the big thing, is to make sure it gets finished, and we've had a lot of bumps in the road to try and make sure it gets finished, to overcome. So much so that probably most indie producers would have given up about 2 months into this thing, because we've had some major hurdles thrown at us. And not just, everybody gets locations, loses locations and stuff like this, but these are major locations that were locked in, unlocked. Money did not arrive when money was supposed to arrive. Actors not, tons of stuff like that. So the fact that we were able to drive forward, and I can't take credit for it myself, it's just all three of us just kept moving forward, no matter what, and figuring it out. But that was I guess my main job, is to make sure the movie gets finished on budget, which is going to happen, even though every power in the universe did not want this to happen, and to play off a stupid character.
My role is director. My job is to technically get the best performance that is possible from the actor, but also to get all the small details, the best lighting, the best camera operation, the best sound, being the captain of the ship whenever the producer is not on set, whenever the co-director is not on the set. It has been an uphill battle from the beginning. When Jim introduced this film to me, it was an instant hit. I loved the idea. I read every single page. It didn't get old. And I found the passion in this role. I found the passion that I knew that something was going to change in the film world, that you don't have to have a $4 trillion budget to make a damn movie. You just have to have capable people and people that want to film, but also have a manager of the production that is a driving force, because that's where indie films fall flat, is they have great vision, they have great directors, but the producers are just kind of flaky, to say the least. And having Jim as a executive producer and producer has really given me the tools that I need to make this happen. These guys wrote this script, and it's their vision. They've pretty much given me the responsibility to paint with a brush that is not a brush, it's actually a camera. And it's been a battle, and it's almost wrapped, and we've got battle scars.
I've got a real scar right now.
But it's been a good thing, but with the stuff, because this is the first thing Daniel really, as a director or anything, has done. Daniel's worked on a lot of films, but he's never really been on this side of it, to experience any of it. And where I have run into a lot of these snags, not as big and not all at once and everything all at the same time, but the snags were a good thing, also for Tommy too, because Tommy's had his feet wet in some of this stuff too, but I think this is probably like the first full narrative feature to have all of these elements, and for pretty much every single element to go wrong at some point in pre-production and continue to f with us through production was a good thing, because they got to experience all the shit on their first one.
Our cherries got popped.
Yeah, and to see sort of how to handle it. So moving forward now, as a team on future projects and stuff too, you know, now everyone's kind of introduced into it.
I feel like we can now go direct The Godfather.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what else can happen? What else is there?
I'm your pretty standard prostitute. I get paid for sex, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
My character is Elaine. I am a tomboy, obviously. And we all just get together, we go to this haunted hospital and investigate, and everything turns from great to hell in a matter of seconds, minutes, not seconds, obviously, but yeah.
Die. My character dies. I think in the beginning I only saw 2 pages of the script, and somebody's gonna break my neck, and that's it for me.
She's married to Mark. She's supposed to be this kind of rich, like, I'm not really richy, but more, I guess, classy, I guess, is what they wanted to put her as. And I'm supposed to be this good girl. And me and Mark are going to the hospital to save his cousin. And we just, we get screwed. We both die. I get raped. My scene is really, really gory. It's really disturbing. And he has to watch me get raped by these men. And he gets axed to the head. And that's my scene.
Well, my character's Allison. And she's the goody two-shoes. She wears purity ring, you know, she believes in like saving herself for marriage, and that, you know, she values herself a lot. I think she respects herself a lot. She's kind of got a stick up her ass though. Like she's bossy. I think it's good intention, but you know, and it just, she's really innocent, and things just don't go well for her at all.
My character is actually playing myself, but I'm playing a very narcissistic, pompous version of myself, a larger-than-life ghost hunter that might echo certain shows out there. They're lead investigators, but I'm poking fun at the field. I'm poking fun at the genre and doing it as well, and I'm providing a little levity for a pretty nasty, hardcore, violent script. I'm definitely trying to provide a bit of humor and lightheartedness to it, but it's really funny. It's good stuff, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys are gonna like it.
Well, I play Sky, and she starts out, you first see her, you know, she's just kind of a goth chick, except, you know, goth is a label, and labels are for posers and whatever. And she's just very aloof and standoffish, and she has decided to come on this this ghost hunt because she's always been sensitive to the paranormal, and she decides that it's time to further investigate those abilities. So
I play a cop, Henry Chapman, and he's a local small town cop who probably tired of his job, been doing it a long time, really doesn't give a rat's ass, and he kind of stumbles in this horrific thing at the behest of his boss. Makes him go out there.
I play Anna, and Anna is kind of the dumb blonde of the group of girls that come. She's, you know, she's really friendly, she likes everybody, she's just kind of oblivious to kind of what's going on. I think honestly one of my favorite lines that Anna has is when she's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take you on face value there, Stanley, and that, you know, it's fruit punch that you're mopping up, and it's clearly, you know, not fruit punch, but she's just like, oh, okay, whatever, and walks away. She's really nice. She loves Elaine, and she loves Allison, and Mallory is one of her BFFs, and Sky, she likes Sky too. I think she really genuinely likes Sky as well, but Sky's a little rough around the edges for her, so.
People are always like, "Or is this Daniel or Stanley?" Or they'll be asking, I'll be in character, I'll be Stanley, they'll be asking me things. I'm like, oh. You know, where do you want me? What am I doing? I don't know. I'm just acting. Two things. Number one, I've written scripts before, but this is the first script I've actually birthed and carried to fruition that Jim wrote with me. Bringing that vision to life, there's a great deal of transition. I think I probably frustrated Tommy a few times along the way because I have in my mind what I think should work with absolutely no regard to what can work. I mean, it's like color palettes. What the f*** is that? What's an ISO? What? Just film the shit. It's right here. You know, continuity. I wrote the shit. Let's change it. You know. So that has been a great deal of transition. Plus, I'm used to working with directors who I won't name, who, you know, just kind of show up and start barking orders, and people do things whether they make sense or not. Thankfully, we had a crew who were professional enough to give me a what the f*** look. Like, why don't we try this? And they're like, what the f***? So somewhere right around the second day or so, I had to tell Tommy, I'm like, tell the crew that if I say something, it's not gospel. You know, just tell me if it won't work. Because, I mean, I've never done this before, and I have been watching film my entire life. I've been involved with film since I was 8 years old. So, I mean, I've seen movie sets, I know the medium, but I don't know all the techie stuff that actually makes a film work. So I've been incredibly fortunate to have Tommy and his crew on board to kind of keep me in line. So there's that. There is that surreal aspect of hearing people say things that you've written. I think that's probably the most odd to me, because when you write it, it sounds one way in your head, and then when it comes out a totally different way, and especially when it comes out better than what you intended. Especially, I'm going to say especially 35 times. The evolution of the characters of Sky and Elaine, who have become the heroines of the film. Elaine, in my mind, when I initially wrote it, was not a main character. She was just one who just happened to survive until the end. But because of the performance of Alicia Clark, which has been phenomenal, she has made her a heroine. The character of Sky I envisioned completely one way, but because of the excellent performance of Rob and Shoot, it became something totally different. And things like that, just to watch how characters in the story evolves. The dynamic between Jack and Stanley evolved as Jason and I were filming these roles. When you birth a script, you put it out there, you're like, okay, we're gonna make this fucking movie, and then the weird thing happens. It becomes so much bigger than you, and so many other people take ownership in that. And it becomes its own thing, like a living entity unto itself. So all these things have been very new to me. In terms of just kind of jumping back and forth between acting and directing, I think next time I probably will have a smaller role. and he's going to be cleaner next time. He's going to wear like press suits and live in a flat somewhere. He's not going to be wearing the same nasty coverall suit for like 10 days straight.
Sprayed down with Pam and butter.
Pam starts to stink after about the second day, just so you know.
He did smell very, very buttery fresh the first day though. It was nice. It was kind of like having a bag of popcorn in your pocket all day long. I'll let y'all talk about that, because I don't. When I'm involved in a lot of my character's involved in a lot of the rape scenes, and I tend to, when I do something that's really heavy and ugly like that, I go somewhere else and I really don't remember what I did or what happened in the scene or anything like that. So you were more of a witness to those scenes than I was, even though I was in them.
You know, during the one last night, I had a vision of where I wanted to go with camera angles, and it's not that my director of photography or my camera operator could not get those shots. It's just when you get a script and it has been birthed, it's your baby, and you rock it, and you look at a rape scene and you say, I want to show the severity of this one rape scene. And I think that we very sensitively covered that. It's brutal, but artistic at the same time. How in the hell can you merge those two together? And it's entertainment. It would be completely different if we were just it was a documentary, but this is a narrative film. It changed me internally. I did not know that I would really do a self-examination. And I did, and I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do. You know, art is not safe, and I will quote that 100,000 times. We cannot live in a corporate shell and say, well, you know, because this film company or this film company, production company says it's off limits, that we should not do that. I don't want to be, as a director, cock-blocked by this is too extreme or this is too extreme. Had it not been for, like, John Cassavetes, who filmed Women Under the Influence, things would not have changed for us as indie filmmakers going forward. I'm hoping that what we're creating now will open up doors for other filmmakers, for other narrative screenwriters, because people will look at this film as a grotesque, violent movie. And it is. That's what I want it to be portrayed as, because violence is in our society. It's not a political thing, but I think that it needs to be showcased so that we as artists, and that's where my transformation happened. As a director, never thought of myself as an artist. And I did right there on this, where we're sitting now interviewing, going, wow, this is my brush, and this world is my canvas. So I just would convey that it is a serious scene, but it's tasteful, and there's a lot of blood.
I don't know if this is addressing the specific question, but just I think a lot of people, I think this film's going to throw a lot of people off, and it's by design. It begins, and there are a lot of elements of kind of the schlocky 80s horror films that we all love, that we all kind of grew up with. And then when you get to the rape scenes, they're almost out of place. They're so brutal and just vicious and savage. And that's by design. I want the audience to not know what to expect. There's a certain cadence to every film that you watch. If you pop in one of those old 80s horror films, miss the VCR motion, you pop it in. You can almost, even though they're awesome, even though you enjoy them, you can almost kind of guess what each step is going to be along the way. This movie, I don't think you can until you've seen it. I think it starts off one way, and you think it's going to be something, and then it's like, what the f*** is that? And then it kind of even lightens up a little bit more, and then it gets more f***ed up as it goes. And that, again, is by design. I think it's going to piss a lot of people off. I think this is going to be one of those movies that people either love or they're going to walk out on it. The rape scenes themselves, just kind of the atmosphere around them is just one of brutality. And a lot of people don't like rape movies or rape revenge movies because they think they're anti-woman. I disagree. I think this is a very pro-woman film. I'm happily married and have 3 daughters whom I love very much. This, I think, shows the evil that man is capable of and what we have inflicted upon women. And of course, at the end, of course, the guys have to get their just desserts. And that's the story I'm telling. Now, people may interpret it differently, of course. Once you put art out there, it's open to interpretation. It means something different to everybody. But that is where we're coming from as filmmakers and as writers, is that, men are sons of and we do horrible things and we need to be punished for it.
Excited?
Yeah.
I am excited about the possibility of creating some sort of record for the highest body count in a movie. Not me personally, but Daniel being part of that, and seeing what the audience reaction will be throughout the country and the world as far as it goes, and hopefully it'll do well. I like horror. I used to do comedy, and when I started in 1985, and horrible comedy, and now I'm doing comedic horror. This isn't comedic though. This is one of the few I've done this pure evil, pure horror, which is really good for me. I usually do comedy horror, which is fine, but I think I wanted to get into something purely evil and see where that would lie and what would happen. You caught me at the end of a very busy day with no sleep for the last 2 days, so I'm not as witty as I normally am. So, c'est la vie.
It's really hard to say. It's definitely eye-opening for sure. It's really disturbing. I really doubt that a lot of people will be able to handle watching it, but if you can, good for you. But
I'm looking forward to with the hospital filming this movie. I'm looking forward to opening people's eyes. I know myself, I've been starting to get into horror much more. That's what I'm trying to transition between horror and paranormal. And this is my first real foray into horror, so it's a pretty good one to start with. It's gonna be good stuff. It's definitely gonna be a crazy movie. It just looks wild. It looks just outrageous. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun so far, so I can't wait to see the end product.
Well, it's of course, I mean, you look at it and you go, okay, well, this has happened now. It's months and months of prep and pain in the ass, things that we've gone through, and there it is. And I think that's the attraction of film, really, is that, I come from theater. My background is in theater, and yeah, there's instant gratification in theater when you've worked months rehearsing and all that, and you get out on the stage, and right there you've got the immediate laughter, the immediate applause, all that kind of stuff. That's great. With film, it comes a little slower. You get to see the dailies and things like that and say, wow, this is really happening. We see the story playing out. Like has been mentioned before, you're seeing something different than what was necessarily on the page. Sometimes it's we may have, speaking of the rape scenes, we may have written it more brutally in the script than what we filmed, but the simplicity of what we filmed really is much more brutal than what's on the page. So we're looking at stuff and we're seeing this transition and how that's going to fit together, and that's very cool and satisfying too. But then the beauty of film, and I think the attraction of film, is that once you get that and you put it out there, your story, vision, and everything like that is there for good then, for people, bad or good, for people to see all the time and enjoy. So, super long-term gratification to see it come together in that way, and to know it's going to be out there for for years. People can talk about it.
Well, to me, it was the second most satisfying thing I have ever done.
After my blowjob.
That's right. It's something when you don't guess, you know where you want to go with a scene, and you know your level of actors, and their performance are out of the roof. The performances that have been in this film have stunned me. I have never worked on an independent film where the level of performances are where they're at.
I agree.
And working with Daniel, working with Jim has been a huge pleasure. Daniel, though this is his first film directing, he is a director's director, absolutely. There was times where I wanted a performance, but I did not know how to get the actor to that deep, dark place, those caverns deep in the soul. He did. So I would explain what I needed, and he would open the cavern up and bring that performance out. And people are going to be completely shocked of how raw and real this is. And that's what I wanted with these performances, was realism. And it's going to be a shocker. And it's a very satisfying thing to see your blood, sweat, and tears, and your hard work and your vision there, but also satisfied your producer and co-director, and everyone's happy. And we haven't had any controversy on set. And that is like a very unheard of thing, but it's very satisfying.
Yeah, we haven't killed each other yet over anything.
I was convinced we'd all hate each other by the end of it, just by virtue of just long days, no sleep. It's hot, it's kind of miserable. But aside from just, not even any real friction. Aside from maybe some miscommunications and stuff in the very beginning, everything I think has been very smooth. I think it was all based on mutual respect for each other and friendship. Right. I've known Jim forever. I've known Tommy for a couple of years, and can't ask for better guys to work with.
As this film goes, getting paid. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I feel pretty good about what I've done here anyway, and I always like to see the results. What it actually looks like. From the camera's point of view.
And I only have one. What? Let's just see what they say.
Hey, you got my book. Thank you.
Yes, sir. They kicked me off the porch, so I just took everything up.
Thank you.
No
It's
problem.
ideal if they say you can't.
Punching Scott Tepperman in the face. No. That was fun though. No, what scene did I just really love? the very, very end scene where I walk out the doors, I felt like that was, that was the culmination of everything. And punching Scott Tepperman, that was fun. I don't know. I always have fun. I always have fun, even in the really hardcore, emotionally draining scenes. I always have fun in it because, honestly, it's hard work, and if you're not having fun, you should find something else to do. It's an exploration of myself and my character, and I find that fascinating and always incredibly fun.
The most fun scene that I've done would probably have to be the rape scene. I think it's obviously disturbing, but it's just funny to like watch how someone can go, like Jim and what's his name?
Jason.
Yes, Jason. Why can't I not think of that? It's awesome to see how Jim and Jason go from like sweet dudes into like f***ing psychos. Like they're like, I want to kill you, like, because so mainly like when they get like right in my face, it is kind of scary because like they're wearing these terrible masks that is really creepy, and they're right there in front of your face. They're just like yelling at you, and so the only thing you can do is get those sexy because it's sad. But I thought it was fun. I mean, everyone said that it made their like fist twist, and they were like, I really just wanted to help you because I felt bad for you. So that's the reason why I like it, is because it made an impact on other people.
The catch line, are you talking about the purity bitch stuff?
Yes.
Okay. I don't actually remember how that got started. We were just like, well, there was Ghost Slut, and then we were like, hey, purity bitch. We're like, we have to work this into the movie. Like, we have to do it. And then we just kind of worked in somewhere where we could say, hey, purity bitch. Sounds so not interesting. Like, it wasn't the story we needed it to be.
Jim O'Rear's car is awesome. It's a black Mustang convertible, and my girlfriend loves that because that's like her favorite car. So I feel a little guilty driving it with her watching, but it's a really nice car. Hopefully we can get one day. It's really cool, and it was, Jim's been a sport with everything. And it was a lot of fun. The car is great, my costumes are great, my scenes are great, my lines are written very well, and the character really, it fit me. I mean, it was me, but they wrote it, and they got me. They got my, my little wild side there, the stuff that I can overdo or just go a little further with. They got that, and it worked perfect. I think it was a great character.
Alicia Clark is a doll. From the first day we were on set together, we just bonded, and we're totally besties. And just getting to know her and getting that friendship with her has been probably the best experience so far. She is a doll face, and I love her.
It's my first time. I think I'm excited about everything.
I guess probably Daniel and I can speak differently to that than Tommy can, because we're acting in it. To me, on past films that I produced, this schedule is a luxury to me because we've got 10 days to shoot, where normally I have 6. So this is great. We got plenty of time to make a movie. We got 10 days. It's brutal. I mean, it's really brutal. It's not as an actor. I need the rest, and actors really need the rest, especially on this. I mean, these scenes. There are some scenes in this that are just so emotionally draining and physically draining, and everything that you really need many hours of rest in between to recharge. So, from an actor's standpoint, it's sort of a trip through hell, that schedule, because you only have so much juice and energy to put forward. How all of the actors are doing it for so many hours consistently, day after day after day, I don't know. I think it's just a a testament to the level of commitment these actors have to the project and what they how much they believe in it. So from an actor's standpoint, it's just stupid. No, it shouldn't happen. It should not be 10 days with this type of material. Starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and finishing at 2 or 3 in the morning and sleeping for a couple hours and going again. It's stupid. You cannot keep up that pace realistically. But somehow you do it. And indie film people, it's another reason why I continue to like to work in indie film, because I've always said it's the people that haven't had the creativity beaten out of them by the Hollywood system yet. They still have the passion and the drive to do it no matter what's happening to them, whether they're tired or hungry or whatever. They're going to get done what needs to get done. So it's you're sort of confined to a limited amount of time budget-wise. You're kind of forced to do that. Is it the best for people? No. Especially actors that have to keep that energy level up all the time.
I've been napping all day.
Daniel has been napping today. He's been the slacker today. So yeah, I mean, there's good and bad to it. Good, you're on limited budget. You got to save money, and it's good in that sense. As far as taking a toll on a body, physically and mentally, to an actor, no, it's not good to keep that level of emotion that high for that long.
Well, for crew, I could not have asked for a better f***ing crew. They've been kicking ass and taking names, and not complaining, not b***ing, not moaning. And this is where film schools around the f***ing world, they implant these ideas in filmmakers, saying that you need to have a long schedule, you need to be organized, in which you do. I get, we as filmmakers get that. But they're not showcasing and concentrating in on the independent market, where we are self distributed. We're self motivated. All of our insight in throwing social networking is self done. It's not, you don't have a publicist. So on the schedule, we at the very beginning, as crew wise, we were falling behind. And as actors never saw that. We were very reclusive when it comes to scheduling and going, oh, how do we make up this time? And I had a meeting with the crew, and I said, well, what do we do about this? And it was not my decision as a director. It was the sound operator. Sound operator said, we're here to make a f***ing movie. Let's shoot the f***ing movie. And we're doing it. And for me to have a commitment at that level, working 12, 14-hour days and not complaining about it, it's been a blessing. It's been, on my script alone, I've got blood, sweat, and I had tears because last night I was crying. So we've got blood, sweat, and tears. Our energy will forever be inside this place. And is it taxing on the body? Absolutely. Are we exhausted? Absolutely. But I know in a couple of months, when it's edited and we watch it, we'll do it again and again and again and again. And I will never ever forget this as being a journey in life, but also a journey in my career with these two gentlemen.
And he uses the term gentleman loosely. Very loosely.
They haven't raped me yet.
Some of us looser than others. I think from a scheduling standpoint, the actors have been very, very gracious in the performances they're willing to give. We've tried to be, what's the word I'm looking for, empathetic, and have tried to space out their performances where they get breaks and everything each day. We haven't had that luxury. Except today, where I've been napping all day.
We're ahead of schedule.
We're ahead of schedule. They don't teach you that in film school. Get ahead of schedule and you can take a nap. But just, especially some of our actors who are method actors and really really go deep into the soul of their character. Sometimes I've witnessed it taking a toll on them when they try to go from, okay, my best friend just died in this scene, to, you know, we're eating popcorn and telling funny stories in this other scene, and flipping back and forth. What most people not in the film industry don't understand is that movies aren't filmed from beginning to end. You know, you're going to shoot a little bit here, a little bit there. We've been filming the end chase for like 4 days. Cut into all these other things, and that's based on what time you have in what location, what actors you have for what days. John Dugan just arrived on set today, and we're going to film all his scenes between tonight and tomorrow. And even though they're cut throughout the film, you know, you gotta get them all while he's here and things like that. So it can definitely take a toll on the actor. But I'm with Jim. Other independent films that I've worked on, I think this has not been a bad schedule. It's rough, it's tough. We knew that it was going to be that going in, but we all sacked up and did what we had to do.
It was obviously the rape scene. I put a lot of emotional effort and everything into that. I drain out everything, and everyone in the room just kind of disappears. And then I give it my all. Like, I imagine myself if I was really getting raped by these psycho killers that's in this hospital, and like what I'd feel like. I'm drugged, and then they put something in my neck, and it wakes me up, and I want to fight back. It's like, what the f are you doing to me? You know. So I think it's gonna be a really good scene, and I scream a lot too. And everyone, when you watch a horror film, you want to hear a good fucking scream. You don't want to hear that lousy like like stupid screams. I mean, no offense to all the screamers that do that, but I think everyone likes my scream. My friends call me the scream queen. So
I felt broken. I was just broken, lost, scared, hopeless. I mean, everything that you could possibly imagine was like running through, and then and it wasn't just that I was scared because I was seeing like a friend of mine getting like brutally raped. It was oh my God, I'm gonna be next, and then like the shame that was gonna come with that, and then what are people gonna think of me if they know that that's how I go, and like, you know, because it's such a big thing for her to not. I mean, she wears the purity ring, which I have. It's got a little blood on it right now, but it was just, I don't think I could describe all the things that were happening last night.
There was, last night we filmed a scene that, it was after everything has happened, and it's when I'm sitting and I'm talking to the ghosts and I'm saying, you have to make this right, you have to fix this, and I had to go to a very dark place because it's after everything has happened, and I've just been through so much that I'm at my breaking point, and I believe that that's the penultimate scene for my character. It's my breakdown. Just everything has gone to hell, and I need this to be made right. So, and it was exhausting. So,
I think like emotionally. I think some of the hardest scenes I have coming up today when I'm doing the, when Stanley's coming after Anna with the knife, and, she's really concerned about herself and also about Elaine, and, then the whole, like, rape scene, I think is really going to be emotionally tough. You're pulling on all different types of emotions there. Anger, guilt, embarrassment, rage. Like, it's a lot of, it's a lot of, like, self-deprecating stuff that's going on there, so.
It was the scene, my death scene was uncomfortable for me. I'd be lying if I said I was, fine with it. So it was a real stretch for me. I had to suspend a whole lot of feelings to get through it. And I'm glad that it's over.
All right, well, I had a pretty interesting experience while here. It's actually pretty scary because it made me cry. But I was leaving my hotel room. I roomed with Robin, of course, and she was gonna leave behind me. So she was like maybe 5-7 minutes behind me in the car. So I finally arrived here, and I get up to the back entrance, and I'm knocking on the door, no one's there, but I hear like footsteps and people talking. I'm like, what the f***, why are you guys ignoring me? And so I'm like, hello, and I'm yelling, and I just keep hearing these footsteps, like people like walking around, like in the room that we were eating originally at, and I was like, oh my god. So like my legs started just like shaking, and like they got really, really, how to explain it, like I felt like they weren't there. Like I felt like I just wanted to like fall over, and like I started getting really, really nervous. I was like, oh my god. And then finally Robin came up, and I just ran to her, and I was like, please calm me down, and I was crying my eyes out. I was so scared. And then like finally the people came and locked the doors, and I couldn't get in my, like, it took me probably 2 hours to get back into my normal like happy mood. Like I just didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do, I was so scared. Like I've never been that scared before in a while. And I think the only reason why it scared me so much was because I was by myself. I'm in the back of the hospital where I don't see anybody, and I'm hearing people talking and moving around, but no one's there. So the ghosts were pissed for some reason. They wanted to get at me. So f*** you, ghost. That's all I gotta say. Sorry. I'm being really crazy.
Right here. All right, we heard you banging up here. What do you want?
You gonna hide from us?
Come on, motherfucker!
Motherfucker, I hate you! God, I hate you! I fucking hate you! You are a douchebag! Whatever.
We haven't filmed her death scene yet. I can't figure out.
Goodness.
All right, this is me.
So what do you got there, Scott? Show us.
Let's see what we're going to set up stuff, because we have the laser grid, and what that does is basically it projects a. Show you real quick, but it's a burst of light, and what that will do is if anything shows up, it will displace the lights. They'll bend, they'll maneuver around, and actually you can see how they're being displaced as Daniel walks by.
Yeah.
I'm the displacer.
Okay. It's very easy, especially when you're taking pictures, for stuff to show up like that. So we have that. I have a K2 meter, not huge on them, but what's interesting with this one is it's kind of like a prototype, so it'll measure electromagnetic energy, but this is a proximity sensor. So what that's saying is something, and this is a sensor for it, something electromagnetic in nature is in the area triggering this. So it's like a backup mechanism for that, which is pretty cool as well. And then these are my favorite devices right here. They're ATDD devices, an ambient temperature deviation device, and what they do, they're green, okay? If the temperature gets hotter, they will turn red. If it gets colder, they will turn blue. Either of those will possibly signify the presence of paranormal activity. And there's different bars. There's 5 blues and 5 reds. And for each degree that it changes, it'll go up 1. So it's pretty interesting. They work as well. I have 2 of them, and if they are worked in tandem with the K2, you set them up, and whenever you want me to set them up somewhere, I'll show you why we use them all together in the control factor and how they work and what they're supposed to do.
Cool.
So they're pretty cool.
Before we move on, can I grab a couple like close-up shots of that?
Yes.
Can you cut this back on and hold it back out? Yeah.
Do you need light on it, or does it do a flashing light show you need light on it?
Okay. Okay, got that one.
And here, blue, red.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Alright, so what do you think, Daniel? You want to try and set it right here at the edge of psych? And
I do. That's where he hides.
yeah, let's set some up right around in here.
Okay, so you're aiming what, for down there?
Down there, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so what we'll probably do is set up a laser grid, which will help if you guys are taking pictures and stuff, but it's also going to help, you know, sometimes if you just look in darkness long enough, you can't really tell what's what.
Mm-hmm.
This will actually help you help stuff pop, you know, it won't just be showing up, you'll actually be able to get an outline for stuff. So let's put that up here. Okay. Like a 70s disco here.
Pretty boss.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I want one.
So that's up. And then this one, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna turn this on. Put right there. We're gonna flip these on. And we're gonna put one on either side of this. And now what that's gonna say, I'm setting this off because we're close to it. But what this is gonna say, we really want these to turn color. And it would be really cool if these turn color. Usually they'll turn red, meaning that there could be a presence blowing on them with hot breath. Okay? Cold, if something shows up and it's cold, that signifies paranormal activity.
One, will it turn red?
Okay, you said it. Now the reason a cold spot is left is if paranormal activity, if something tries to manifest, it'll pull energy from the air. When it does that, it leaves a, oh, it's getting colder. I mean, there's something around here, which is kind of interesting. But what we want to see, okay, it would be for that to trigger with this and that, because that would say something cold in the area of electromagnetic nature was in approximation of this area, and they were going off. See what I'm saying? Use it as a control factor. So it's kind of cool to light them both up. I'm going to move these down a little further just so we don't trigger this red proximity sensor. But hopefully you guys can still see it down here. If it lights up red, I'm sure you can see it. That's me lighting up, but do you see it? Or no?
Yes, yeah, you can see it.
When I leave, it should be okay. But yeah. And you have all these control factors in play. If there's anyone here, we need you to come forward. Look at that, look at that, look at that.
Anybody hear that?
Yes.
Behind us.
Light the other one up. Turn the other one colors. Make it red.
If you see those lights don't hurt you, we need you to come forward and make the other one red.
Please?
Are we positive or we're the only ones up here?
Yeah, everybody else is outside shooting.
Hey bro, do you hear that behind us?
I heard downstairs.
Okay, we need you to make the other one red. Stop playing around. Okay, I heard that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I keep hearing what sounds like footsteps on the other hallway.
I heard
I do too.
in that room.
Okay, not impressed. How about the other side?
Do both of them.
What the hell was that?
What was it?
I heard a-
I didn't hear that.
No,
I heard it.
I
I
heard
thought
it.
it was
I just
you.
thought it was one of us breathing.
Yeah.
It might have, maybe it was. I just heard that. Well, what we're really looking for is that went red, that's cool, but now if the middle thing spiked and then the other one went off, that would say something electromagnetic set that off and went to the other side. And that's happened before. Oh shit.
What's that mean? What's that mean?
I think it's going more than one bar off. This thing is spiking. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
See that?
Wow.
We're setting the middle one off now, but look at this. That's going haywire.
Yes.
I can reset it to try it, but let's see if it happens again. Make that happen again. Come forward. Pick it up and blow on it. They'll do like a. See that?
Yeah, you
gotta
gotta
be on top of it.
Yeah, you gotta be on it.
So click the middle, turn on the top. Here you go.
Scott Tepperman.
Jim O'Rear.
Asshole, big asshole.
Awesome, awesomer.
There you go. That was a look at the production diary behind the making of The Hospital, which features John Dugan from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Chainsaw Sally is in it. It's Scott Tepperman from Ghost Hunters International. It's a very dark comedy in a way, and like I say, it's very polarizing. People love it or hate it. But it did spawn a sequel, The Hospital 2, actually, because it just took off in notoriety, which is something I never expected it to do. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this behind the scenes. If you have, click that like button to let the powers that be know that you like the video. And while you're at it, click on follow or subscribe, and you'll be notified when I upload new videos. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.